Hello Stitchy friends, it's Tracy from Hands to Work, and this is a Flosstube video about cross stitch and other things are thrown in. Today is Saturday, September 5th. I'm in the house by myself because my husband went kayaking with a friend on the Shenandoah River. And this is the first time I've been alone, and I can't even tell you how long. It has been a crazy couple weeks. So I got my calendar out just to remember all the things that I've done in the last 2 weeks. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about life stuff. So if you want to forward on through that, that's perfectly fine. Because I am stuck at home and I pretty much only have my grandchildren and my husband to talk to, I feel like I'm meeting up with my stitchy friends and can tell you things as if you were sitting in my living room or out on my porch. So this is my opportunity to talk to my stitchy friends. Wish we could get together. I so miss sitting around a table and stitching with others. I miss retreats. I know everybody does. Just this year, I mean, I know we've talked about it incessantly, and really I wasn't crazy tired of it before, but I feel like now it's just but anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's what it is, and once we are able to get back together, we will all really appreciate it. So what have I been doing? 2 weeks ago, on the 24th of August, we had Wyatt for the week. He went to this in his county. They had a summer camp program through the school system, and he went to that every day because both parents work. And they were off for a week because then school started last week, and so Elizabeth needed me to watch him. So he came over on Monday the 24th. We loaded up the camper and we took him camping for a couple days. We went down to Seneca Rocks, which I've talked to you about before. And that child was a dirtbag. I mean, between the river and picking up bugs and digging in the dirt and playing with trucks and cars and going on hikes. Oh, he was dirty. But I think he had a really great time and we had fun. We had a couple days where we had rain, but you know, overall it was really nice. So that was fun. And then we brought him home. We got home on Wednesday afternoon because I had a doctor's appointment on Thursday. It was a follow-up appointment after my kidney stone removal. So I saw the urologist on Thursday. We still have Wyatt, and he told me that I should be drinking 100 ounces of water every day. 100 ounces. I can tell you that's never going to happen. Oh my goodness. I mean, I drink water. That's pretty much all I drink, other than coffee in the morning. Sometimes I'll have some sweet tea, but not that often. 100 ounces? No way. So, but I am trying to drink more. I could not work full-time and drink 100 ounces of water because I'd spend more time in the restroom than at my desk. So anyway, but he's really nice. I like him a lot, and I have to go back one more time, just make sure everything is clear. There are a few little granules left in there, but he says they'll pass, and not to be concerned. He thinks I'll be fine. Sorry, there's a helicopter going over, and I'm sitting out on my porch because it's a beautiful day. Too nice to be inside, so I'm sorry about that. It'll pass in a second. There he goes. So then, um, Thursday evening, when after we got home, Chuck's brother called him and said, "Hey, we want to come down for a couple days over the weekend." Their nephew lives, or their son lives down. He was working for Busch Gardens. He's been furloughed for most of the year, but he's still living down that way, and he doesn't go home very often, and his birthday was Wednesday of this week. So they wanted him to come here, and they were going to drive down from West Virginia. And so the Thursday evening and Friday, we were cleaning like mad people, because you know how it is. You let some things pile up, and stuff in the refrigerator needed cleaned out, and so we were like crazy people with Wyatt trying to get all that cleaned up. So Wyatt went home Friday evening, and my sister and brother-in-law came, and I fixed dinner. We had I fixed barbacoa beef. Oh man, it was good. And we ate that on tortilla shells, and I had a sauce that poured over it, and and stuff that goes with a Mexican meal. It was delicious. Saturday morning, we went down to Elizabeth and Jimmy's, my daughter and son-in-law, Wyatt's parents, and help can green beans. They had a ton of beans from their garden, and they had more really than they can use, so we helped them can the rest of them and brought a bunch home. And I cooked green beans for dinner Saturday night. Oh, they were good, so good. So Saturday, then Taylor, my nephew, came over, and for Saturday night, then all my kids came down, and we had a feast. Jimmy, my brother-in-law, went to our local butcher and bought a sirloin tip, I think, and had it cut into fillets. And he also went to the grocery store. You can order crab legs and shrimp seasoned and cooked, and so he picked that up. So we had all that, plus fresh corn from the garden, fresh green beans, fresh deviled eggs from Elizabeth's chickens. Oh man, it was homemade ice cream. It was so good. We of course stuffed ourselves. And then all the kids went home, and Jimmy, Taylor, and Cassie spent the night again Saturday night, and then they left Sunday afternoon. So, of course, we collapsed after a week with Wyatt, and then having company all weekend. Then on Tuesday, let me get to where I am. Wednesday the 2nd, the kids started school on Monday the 31st, and then on Tuesday they were home. Wednesday, Elizabeth and Jimmy had never gotten to do a anniversary trip, and they do every year, so they decided to run down to his family's property down on the Chesapeake Bay for a few days. So the kids came over here, and I helped them with virtual school. Now, Lily's in 7th grade, so that's no big deal. She's very independent and a very good student, and she needed help here and there, but mostly she was fine. She went upstairs, closed the door, and did her thing, so she was good. But Wyatt is in kindergarten, so it was a lot of trying to get him to sit still and listen. There was a Zoom call, and to get him to listen and participate, that was really hard, because with 5-year-olds on a Zoom call, they're all talking. It's hard to understand the teacher, and then they're all kind of doing their own thing, and that's what 5-year-olds do. So trying to get him to understand what the teacher was saying and then to do it, it was hard, but he did well. He did with his, all the work he had to do with everything that every assignment that he had. We had to video him and send that in so they could see that he did it, and so that was interesting. It's so different. So we did that. They stayed till Friday, yesterday, and when Chuck and I got home from dropping Lily off last night, oh my goodness, we were so tired. 2 weeks of just craziness. So anyway, that's my long drawn out story about what I've been doing the last couple weeks. And as I said, Chuck is gone today, and peace and quiet. I have I tell Alexa to play 70s rock, and I just do whatever I want to do, including Flosstube. So the first thing I'm going to talk about stitching wise are the two releases that I'm sending out to Hoffman and shops next week, probably Tuesday, because I think everything's closed on Monday. And they're drums, 2 drums. And the first one I have is this one, They That Sow Kindness Gather Love. And then it's got the 2020 on the back. Faye Rigsby finished these, and she used Lady Dot velveteen on them. So that's the first one. The second one is the exact same color scheme with the threads. Use the same threads on both. But Faye picked up the blues on this one, and this again is Lady Dot Creates Velveteen. And it's Love Thy Neighbor as Thyself. And then it has 2020 on the back. As I said, Faye finished both of these for me. This one I originally stitched, put it in an envelope, priority mail envelope with a couple, like 3 different colors of velveteen from Lady Dot and also some trims. She still doesn't have it, and that was in July. So Tammy Maddox she stitched this one for me, and so I sent her another piece of fabric and said, please stitch this one too because I'm so slow. So she stitched this one, and then Faye finished them both. So those will be out. They'll be at your shop soon. I used Picture This Plus Ale. I used 40 count, use what you want. And I used mostly classic Colorworks with a Gentle Art thread in there as well. So they're a quick stitch, and they, drums are they just look nice all setting together. I love them. So those are the very first drums I've ever made. Well, designed. I didn't make them. So I'm reviewing the charts today. I've printed out the covers. I'm reviewing the charts to make sure that I don't have any mistakes, because I usually have a couple in there somewhere and hopefully catch them before they go out. And then Sunday and Monday, Chuck and I will be stuffing charts. So then also, I don't have any finishes, but I did get 2 things framed, and for convenience sake I went to Hobby Lobby and I took 2 pieces. The first piece I took is I can't remember what the name of this is, but it's a Not Forgotten Farm. Hopefully it's not too much glare, you can see it. I showed this before in a previous video, and I used all the colors that she called for, and it's all DMC, except I did change this house to a pinky red using an overdyed thread that I had, and I love this. I just love this. So I had this one done, and then also a Blackbird design, Maria Selby Humphrey. Let's see if I can put this one up. You can see it. And I've had this one done, golly, I think I got it done in January just now, and I love the frame. It's a big chunky frame. Now unfortunately, the first time I went to pick them up, this one was, when they stretched it, all the lines were wavy. I mean, all the way across. All of them. I mean, they just, you could tell where they'd pulled it too tight in some places and then not as tight in others. And then this piece was, and it's still not, I'm still not 100% happy with it, but it's so much better than it was. This piece was pulled real tight on this side and real tight on this side, and it was all wonky. And so when I picked them up, I didn't really look at them. I just, they were wrapped up in plastic, and I went home and I unwrapped them, and I thought, oh my goodness, I can't. I'm not a perfectionist, and little things don't bother me, but they were so bad, I just couldn't. So the next day, I went back to Hobby Lobby, and I talked to the guy who framed them, and he said, well, he didn't frame the big one, but he said he framed this one, and I said, they're not right. And he said, well, I really had a hard time with this, and I worked for hours on it. And I thought, why didn't you tell me that when I picked it up, that I worked as hard as I could, but it's not quite right or something. Anyway, he just let me take them, and I think had his fingers crossed that I'd be happy with them. And then the other thing was they had put an extra piece of foam core in the back. So the back was stuck out like this far, and when you hung it on the wall, you know, it just wasn't right. And so I asked them to fix both of them. And the small one, the Not Forgotten Farm, I said, if you can't get it right, don't frame it. Just let me know. I'll take it. You refund me the money for the stretching, and I'll have someone else do it. So a couple days later, I got a call, and they were much better. And I knew I could be really nitpicky and push it, but honestly, I was afraid, especially for the small one, that the linen would end up getting ripped. So I said thank you very much, and I appreciate your help, and brought them home. So I'm really disappointed because they've done some other framing for me, and it's been great. But all the people that are in there now are really young, and I don't think they're very well trained. And needlework is different than plopping a photograph in a frame. So yeah, I won't be going back. I went down to Total Framing because Terry and Sherry are doing framing a sampler for me that I'll be releasing soon. And so I told her about it, and she said that I wouldn't believe some of the things people have brought in to be repaired after other places almost destroy them. So I felt lucky, really, that my pieces were still intact and they weren't ruined. But it's nice to have two pieces framed, and I can get those hung on the wall. I haven't been stitching a lot because I've been awfully busy, and when I go to bed, I like to stitch in bed in the evening. About 7 o'clock, I'll go upstairs and I'll sit on the bed and stitch for hours, and that's just relaxing for me. But when I've gone upstairs, I've been so tired that I either turn something on TV or I play something, you know, mess around on my phone. I can't even think. So I haven't done much stitching. But when I have stitched, I pulled this back out. This is Dying to Stitch piece that I think I talked about this last time, now that I think about it, on my video. But I pulled it back out and started stitching it because it is mindless. You know, I'm a slow stitcher, so I don't have a ton. Let me put behind there. You can see it. I love this arch with the deer. Love that. This is it's a fun stitch, and it's stitched on 28 count over 1, but the holes are big enough that I don't have trouble seeing. I use one of these Duchess hoops, and you know, it's just I find that because it's one color, I can just thread the needle and just go. So I have enjoyed that. Been stitching on that. It's going to take me a long time to get it done. And then I've been dying to stitch this, and I've had this. How long has this been out? Quite a while. Let's see if she has a date on it. 2014, and I probably had it that long. It's by Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler, and I've seen this finished on Instagram, and it's so pretty. And when I ordered it, I ordered all the needlepoint silk. So I'm completely ready, you know, and I have lots of fabric, so that wouldn't be a problem. I really want to stitch it, but I feel like I need to get some other things done that I've had laying around, so we'll see. But maybe I might have to get a few stitches in. We have Wyatt on Tuesday. Elizabeth has decided to leave her job and be home for Wyatt because it's just too hard to depend on other people and him going back and forth, and she felt like it's the best thing for him if she's there helping him with kindergarten. So I'm relieved and glad, and I'd be happy to do it, but it is exhausting for me in that it becomes all consuming. When Wyatt's here, he's all boy and he's busy, and if it's not me playing swords and Legos and building houses and wrecking cars, then it's Chuck. And so we tag team, but still it's busy. So she Tuesday is her last day, so I will have Wyatt on Tuesday and do school with him, work with him on school, and then after that we're free. So just step in when we need to, but it won't be every day. So I'm excited about that. So of course I've seen, it's sampler soiree. How do you say that? Soiree. Oh my goodness, I can't say it. September sampler. I can't get the word out, but you all know what it is. Either your stitching and reproduction sampler or a new sampler, and so I'm working on the over one from R&R. I'd like to stitch more, but oh my goodness, the samplers that people are stitching, just so gorgeous. I've been trying to catch up on Flosstube. So many good Flosstubes out there, but they're so enabling, and I write down lists of things that I see, but I haven't ordered anything in ages because I have a lot and I don't have that much time to really stitch them, so I try to be careful and not go crazy. But then I do have moments. So, and I wanted to say, and I've said this before, but I want to thank everyone for their shout outs for me and my designs, and showing them in their Flosstube or on Instagram. I really, really appreciate it. I'm a little business like all needlework designers are, getting started again. It's a slow start, and I'm just not put a new design out every week. I'm just not. I wasn't before, and I'm not this time, but every little bit helps, and showing me the love it's always unexpected and it's always appreciated. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a good week. Sorry I rambled on so much, but I'm going to try to get back here in a couple weeks, and maybe I'll have my frame sampler to show. If you have any questions, let me know, and thank you so much for watching. Bye. Have a good September.